Hey, everybody, welcome back to Real Estate Uncensored. I have an absolute freaking legend in lead generation today, Mr. Wayne. This guy, he's one of my assassins. He's the guy, one of my homies, my ride or die, watch my six kind of a dudes. He's given me so much good information over the last year and change that I've been calling with him. I had to get him on the show. He's going to talk about so many incredible things, lead generation, different questions we prepared for him. We also want to hear about how he got into real estate in a very unconventional way. I actually don't know that story, so I'm very interested to learn about it. Before we get to Wayne, Miss Alyssa Glutz, color my credit. How are you, my beautiful co-host? What's new?
It's a beautiful day in Scottsdale. It's a beautiful day in Scottsdale, Arizona today. I don't know if it's beautiful every other place, but I'm happy to be here. Happy to be alive. Great day. Can't wait to hear Wayne.
Yeah, Wayne, tell everybody a little bit about who you are, where you're from, what you do, how long you've been doing it, and what's your favorite color?
Red. Obviously.
Red.
My favorite
He's
color.
like, look at my shirt, player.
I've been doing this, let's see, coming up on 19 years. I am here in Baltimore, Maryland. I am born and raised. Been here forever. Real estate is my thing. I've been doing. You mentioned me getting into it unconventionally. So I grew up working on cars. When I wasn't working on cars, I was building machines in a machine shop. And for the longest time, I did that. After that, I got into the restaurant business. A good buddy of mine that was in the business with me got into real estate. And he was like, dude, you love people. You got to get into real estate. Oh, my God, it's so great. And I'm like, dude, you guys are the sleaziest of the sleaze. I want nothing to do with real estate. You guys are just used car salesmen, but you sell houses. Get away from me. You're creeping me out. And it was just, this guy was just relentless, dude, you got to do it. You got to do it. And finally, a friend of mine got completely just screwed over by a real estate deal. And I was like, all right, I can do this so much better. I got to get into it. And that's what I did. And I got in 2005, and we all know how that went. And here I am.
It was
still
smooth sailing up until
right, exactly. And that's what happened to me. So I built a business around what we had back then being the subprime market. Mm-hmm. And I was having a blast because with my background, I loved going into houses and kind of teaching people how they work. So I had a huge clientele. I loved everything that I was doing. And then everything just kind of dropped out. And it was, okay, let's start over.
Yeah.
Yeah, the starting over part sucks. 100%. But it's also like the phoenix, right? You die, but you get reborn. You become a new creature, a new part of your life, and you keep moving forward. I thought the same thing, Wade, when I got into the business. I thought it was just what Dad did, right? Because my father's been there for 65 years. I'm like, this is stupid. Like, why am I going to sell homes? This is like the least sexy thing on earth. Yeah. And 25 years later, here I am. And it's uniquely interesting on how you have the opportunity to change somebody's life in regards to working with a buyer and a seller. And all of a sudden, your justification for going to work every day is not the money that you're making, it's the actual lives that you're changing, the people that you're helping. Same experience. I had a friend of mine that went through a really unfortunate situation with a realtor. I heard about this. I just had a conversation the other day with a guy. He was getting screwed by his agent, not in the fun way, in the bad way. And I'll tell you one thing. He looked at me. He called the agent. I'm not going to mention any names or locations. He called the agent, texted the agent at that moment and said, I want to cancel my contract. And I'm like, wait, what? Mm-hmm. And it's because there was a connection made. And that's when you do so incredibly well. And I want to get into the lead generation with you a little bit. Alyssa, you got some amazingly introspective questions that I want to dive into. So let's rock and roll. Alyssa, what's our first question out of the gate?
Okay, question number 1, Mr. America. In your experience, what is the most effective strategy? We talked about a little bit before the show, but effective strategy for turning a no into a yes, or getting the most, hands up.
Bang for your buck. Yeah. So, so my strategy out of the gate is really building rapport. I know a lot of people kind of shy away from that. They want to be more transactional. They want to be more, get the numbers, make the calls, blah, blah. And my goal is to actually get a hold of the person that I'm trying to contact, get them on the phone and have a conversation and build a rapport and see if I can help. And if I can't help, I'll be the first one to be like, look, this isn't for me. Maybe I know a guy that can help you. Maybe I can point you in another direction, but I'm not going to try to put a square peg into a round hole. Thanks for your time. Move on. But I really try to get as much rapport out of the gate so I can figure out what's going on in their situation and if I can lend a hand.
Okay, so I've listened to do calls for over a year and a half and change. Let's run a script really quickly. Alyssa, I want you to be the seller. Wayne, I want you to be the agent. And just listen to his tonality, ladies and gentlemen.
Do good
Watch
on roll
how
calls,
interacts.
but okay, I'm sorry. I will listen. I don't do the best on roll calls because
I don't either.
Okay, but let's try it. Let's try it. Let's give it a shot.
But you have to listen to how he speaks, boys and girls. Way he presents himself, it is so easygoing, so casual. Like I listen to him and I get sucked into his conversation. I'm like, well, what do you want from me? Okay. Like
so do you want me to not want him? Is the question.
We're talking about real estate, right?
I'm sorry.
I was confused for a moment.
This is why I just married. Okay, I'm just gonna be the seller. I'm just gonna act like I'm a regular seller. I won't have a script. Okay. Ring.
All right, so Wayne, you go ahead with your typical script. Give her the scenario, and then let her counteract to you. So, Wayne, what's the scenario?
Okay, so you're an expired. I'm going to call you. Ring, ring.
Hello.
Hey, Alyssa.
Yes, this is Alyssa.
Hey, Alyssa, this is Wayne. I'm sure I don't know your 20th phone call. I was just calling about the house that came off the market on Smith Avenue.
Yes. What would you like to know?
So real quick, I was just curious if you were still accepting offers on that, or did you sell it, or you at this point may even be the new buyer. I don't even know if I have correct information.
I don't know if I don't know if I trust you. I just don't know. What are you calling for? What do you want?
I was calling about Smith Avenue, the house that was for sale. Is that not yours? Do I have the wrong number?
That's my house. That's my house. What do you have to say about it?
Well, I have a lot I could say, but I haven't seen it. I was just curious if you were still accepting offers or something else happened there.
Well, we were thinking about we've taken it off the market. We're thinking about moving on, but I might be open to talking to somebody. You sound like you're from Texas, and I'm very intrigued by cowboys.
Oh yeah, well I've been called worse. No, I'm here in Baltimore. I am not Texas.
Baltimore, pretty close, pretty close.
Yes, yeah, okay. And that's what I was calling about, because I do know the area, and I noticed that yours didn't sell, and I'm kind of confused because normally houses like yours sell pretty quickly. Did you get a lot of activity while it was up?
I think so. I'm not sure what a lot of activity feels like, but what would you do differently, Wayne?
Well, I'd rather show you what I do differently. I mean, we could be on the phone forever, and we're all way too busy for that. I mean, I do have a very solid marketing plan that I can show you kind of what I do to where you would know whether or not your place would get sold in 19 days is normally what I do. So
19,
to go over the phone.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
Wayne,
it's
come on over. Why don't you come over on Sunday? Let's just get to the point here.
You know what? My 12 o'clock's already open for you.
Perfect. See you then. How did you do, Greg?
I think you did really well. A very unrealistic phone call, but here's the thing that I like about that. What I was going after is Wayne's tonality. Mm-hmm. You didn't hear salesman or commission breath. He was trying to disqualify you, but trying to also align with you, and that's what he does like a master. And that's why he's such a master at doing lead gen.
Patient, I noticed, kind. Makes you want to trust somebody. Yeah. I think you have a very good, and you talk slow. A lot of people don't like the fact that you come at them so fast. And I noticed that you give it a pause,
So, I've got a really good question for Wayne, actually, Alyssa. When it comes to calls, are there any like a super memorable call that you're like, oh my gosh? Because I have one that's hilarious. Didn't end up in a sale, but it did end up in a very funny conversation. So what's a memorable call for you that somebody can look back on and be like, oh my God, this guy experienced the same thing I have?
Yeah, so I had a gentleman, I still remember the exact neighborhood, location. I'm not going to put it out there, but I did have a gentleman that when I had called, and I'd been on the phone for a while already, this is probably 10 o'clock in the morning. And I had called, and just out of the gate, he's like, he didn't even say hello. He's just like, are you a realtor? And I was like, guilty as charged, whatever, many years into business, whenever that was. And he's like, you're the 50th person to call me. What are you guys doing? You got nothing else better to do today? And he was just blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, yeah, I didn't get into business to be a telemarketer. I'm really calling to see if I can help. And we got into it. And he was like, all you guys are the same. And some vulgarities came out. And we just kept talking, and then I got him kind of joking, and then he was kind of easing up a little bit. So I saw a little window, and I'm like, look, man, we're all busy. I don't want to keep you all day. How about we just link up later in the afternoon, see if I can help you, blah, blah, blah. And when I got there the next day, it wasn't that afternoon, he literally said, Wayne, the only reason why you're standing in my living room is because you were different than everyone else who called me. And I don't know what I did different, because I was just doing what I do. But you
don't picture them
cool.
like a family. Did you grow up in a big family? I was wondering if that was maybe what gave you the skill of conversating?
I think the restaurant business gave me the skill of conversating, because I had left a very good paying job that I was miserable at to go into the restaurant business. I didn't know if it was a job or what I was doing or where I was doing at. And I just got rid of all of it to begin with, or whatever. And I was just like, I'm starting over. Let's just go into the restaurant business. My buddy who brought me into real estate, he was in the restaurant business. He's like, come on over. So I started there like as a dishwasher. So I was making really good money, and then I was making not good money. And the entire time the owner's like, dude, what are you doing in the kitchen here? We got to get you out in front of people. You're funny, you're this, you're that. I'm like, I don't like people. And then it went from like dishwasher to host to server to bartender to a manager, and went up from there. And I just learned, I really like people. I really like to help. I really like to be some sort of resource to someone. So
here's the interesting part there. A lot of us have go through transitions in life in regards to our mental state, our physical state, our body weight. I mean, we're always moving and shifting, right? The thing that I like about you is that you didn't sit back on your laurels and just say, well, I'm going to be a dishwasher for the rest of my life, and I just want to hide back here and not talk to anybody. And not that you smoke, but I'm making the analogy. You go out and smoke a cigarette and go home and drink a couple of beers and eat some bad food and wash it off and then come back and do it again. You said, no, I'm going to take advantage of this. And a lot of folks, when it comes to lead generation, they don't take advantage of the opportunities in front of them because they can't see them, because no one's told them that they're there. Yep. Help me and walk me through when you first started getting into real estate, after you got out of the restaurant business, and you're starting lead gen. And you're like, okay, I have all these opportunities. I can do door knocking. I can do cold calling. I can do, networking. I can do videos. I can do social media. I can do, walking a cat on a tree. I don't care.
Which I've done.
You can do something to find a client. When did you find your lane? Like, when did you find your groove? Because you're so good at what you do. Some people say, well, I can never get to that. And I say that because I just got a phone call with a guy who's been in the business for 3 days.
3 days.
And he's already reaching out to people like myself and other podcasters asking for advice. That motherfucker is gonna fucking go places. I guarantee you. He's 21 years old. He's already asking people to know what they've been doing. That's the dog, by the way.
Okay.
I was not creepy at all.
I thought
not creepy.
But Wayne, what was your tipping point? Like, when did you say, oh my gosh, I'm really good at blank?
My tipping point was when I got around other people who was also doing it. That was my tipping point. Because for the longest time, I was just a lone wolf. I did everything by myself. I don't need help. I don't want help. I'll figure it out. I'll read a book. I'll watch this. I'll see that. I'll learn this. I'll learn that. And once I got around folks that were doing it as well, and then they were like, "Wow, you're pretty good at this. Can we do this together? Can you teach me this?" And I'm like, "Me teach you? Like, dude, I'm just doing my thing, just being myself, out here to help people." And then when those folks were like, "Oh yeah, let's kind of hone your skills," that's when it really got a lot easier for me.
I mean, I hear two big things that I think are so crucial. And I've dated many men who I've asked this question to, and they've said, I can't think. I've asked them, who was there somebody important who talked into you growing up? Was there somebody who said, you're special? There's something about you I believe in. I noticed you said at the restaurant that somebody had said to you, you should be talking to people. You don't really kind of know your gift, but you're awesome at this, right? And then you started getting around in your environment, started creating these people that it was a norm for you to be that, right? And you even said, I don't like people. And that's kind of the, the mindset you were in. And then all of a sudden someone's like, but you're really good with people. Now, next thing I hear you say is, I love people. I actually do love people. And I can see it in you that you don't even have to say that anymore. It didn't sound right coming out of your mouth when you said, I hate people. You love people. I can see it in you. But think about how many people are walking around right now, okay, just shy of their potential, just shy of what they're capable of, because no one's pulled them aside and said, you know what, you're really actually great at this. And my mom and people around me have been very good. Amazing. My daughter lately is 16, and I've spent my whole life thinking I'm the worst cook in the world. And every night she'll say to me, Mom, you're the best cook. I love the way you make this. Guess what it's made me do? Want to be a better cook. So I'm every night looking at recipes. Now I'm starting to call myself Chef Boyardee. I mean, it's happening. It's happening for me. But if you knew me and my mother, you would just know we ain't no cook. Okay. But I'm getting really good at it. So I want everybody even listening right now, for yourself. What are you saying to yourself? Are you saying I'm not an athlete? I can't do that. I'm always going to be heavy. Or why don't you start changing that script? And then who are you talking into? That's a super important thing. All of us, I know Greg tells me every day about somebody that I'll say, was that an appointment? And he said, no, I just decided to do that for free. He's talking into people all the time because he's there. We know that the real gift out of all of it is what you give yourself, giving the ability to maybe make somebody lift it up, and you really have massive butterfly effect on someone's life. Man, there's no wealth that is the equal to that. So
we're talking about the psychology of the calls, right? We're breaking into kind of like how you view the phone calls, how you view the interactions, how you view yourself, how you view the other person viewing you. And there's a lot going on there. And Wayne, I want you to break that down from your thousands and tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of phone calls and prospecting that you've done. The psychology, most people are terrified. Alyssa was alluding to this perfectly a second ago. How did you get to that point when you're like, I really just don't care what people say to me? And how did you push through that to be the thriving, successful agent that you are now? When someone says, well, you were a dishwasher, you ain't shit. You're like, bitch, I'm a very successful real estate agent with an incredible family. So I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Where did that change upstairs? How'd that shift? So
it was a while. I'm not going to lie. Because I beat myself up a little bit because I have very high expectations for myself. So it started to get easier when I was realizing okay, these people on the other side of the phone, they don't know me. So I'm here, before it would be, I'm just trying to help. Oh, and it's like, yeah, you know what? I'm trying to help, but they don't know Wayne. They don't know that I would do anything to help them. I'm just a voice on the phone, and they're probably annoyed and they're probably frustrated. And even if everyone that I spoke to was happy, cheery, loving Wayne, still only 10% of those people are going to do business with me, because that's just how the numbers work. So you can't make the phone call expecting that you're going to get something out of every phone call. You're calling to disqualify. You're just making calls to see who is not the right fit, because you're going to find the person who is the right fit.
And that's the good thing. I always tell a lot of the agents, young agents that I meet with and talk with, not all money is good money, right? There's a lot of bad money out there because there's time vampires and energy vampires, and they will suck you dry till you're a dry, dead corpse on the side of the road. Then they'll back up their pickup, run you the fuck over, and go get a cheeseburger.
That's a little negative, Greg.
I'm just saying the reality, man.
I'm saying that every now and then, though, there are the people that you can't even imagine the conversation's going to go anywhere from it. I mean, I'm not trying to sound like a crazy person, but I've had talks at bus stops with people that I'm just sitting there talking. Okay. And then we get into something, and then I'll be like, you need some credit help? I don't know, whatever the case. But sometimes you got to have completely useless conversations that don't follow a script on where they're supposed to go. I think that I see in you, Wayne, that you seem very confident in the product that you offer. You're very confident in the fact that you are there. I think that I feel that connection with you, because when you feel confident about what you're providing, that it's not a car salesman scam crapper, but it's something that's truly, going to benefit their life. You feel so invincible about being willing to talk to somebody, that you don't know, because you just know deep in your heart that you have something that's going to help them. All the rest falls apart, right? All the rest, all of the fears and anxiety, it's like it's not around, because
I know.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah, I know my program works.
Yeah.
So.
That helps, right?
You have to understand, guys. I mean, I've been doing so many calls with him. I hear him every day doing calls. He is one of the most genuine, honest callers, because he knows his community. He knows how to talk about the schools, the different shops, the parks. He knows the different areas, and people will recognize that. So when you're starting to get into calls, we have to talk about something that's very, very important. It's how to handle rejection. Rejection is that wonderful thing that we all are fearful of until you take the fear out of it. There's a 2-letter word. Wayne, would you know that 2-letter word that people are more fearful of than anything else on earth?
Oh man, N-O.
It starts with an N and ends with an O. Exactly.
Yes.
I was like, it's going to be no.
So
I was going to drag it out a little bit, but
I love it. We get told no, and we put energy behind it. If I tell you, Wayne, stapler, Wayne, painting, Wayne, light bulb, Wayne, dog, Wayne, pillow, Alyssa, book, Alyssa, bush, Alyssa, drawing. There's no power behind those words, because we have an associated power with those words in a negative connotation. The reality is if you hear the word no, you feel rejected. Once rejection kicks in, then it comes into self-worth. Then it comes into, what am I doing? It goes down this whole rabbit hole. So, Wayne, when you first learned to get over someone telling you no and someone just discarding your time, how did you do that? I know how I did it, but I want to hear your thoughts on this, because it's fascinating to me.
All right. So I'm a crazy person. It depends on.
Welcome to the podcast, pal.
It depends on the
normal
mood
here.
I'm in. Yeah, great. So, because some days you just don't feel like it. You just don't feel like it. I mean, we're all human. Sometimes we don't want to make the calls. There is someone out there that I'm going to help that day, and I know it. But some days I'm like, I don't feel like it. That day I'm a little more cynical, and I'm like, well, in my mind, if you didn't hire the wrong agent to begin with, I wouldn't have to be calling you. So it's your fault. It's not on me, right? And then some days I'm like, yeah, it's all good, whatever. I'm going to make the call. It's going to be good. So it really depends on what mood I'm in. But yeah, I don't take it to heart. I mean, these people don't know me. They can tell me no, piss off, do whatever you want. That's cool. I'm going to laugh and hang up and call the next one and see what they got to say.
How do you guys structure it, as far as like, do you have, I'm going to call these 100 people today, or
100?
I'm going to call until, I know he's laughing at me right now, but I'm saying, are you going to call until you get 4 deals, or like, do you set a time block?
So I like to touch on different lead sources. I don't want to just, so I'll do expireds, I'll do for sale by owners, I do a little bit of probate, I do some for rent by owners. I kind of mix it up a little bit depending on how much content, how many leads I have in whatever pillar that I'm going to focus on. But my goal is to really like have conversations. If I see my content and there's 10 expireds, I just don't want to call 10 and say, all right, well, I called the 10. I'm really trying to get a hold of them. So I'm going to call them. I'm going to text them. I might shoot a little video text message to send their way. Like, I'm really trying to get a hold of you. Maybe I'll door knock, but not usually. Sometimes door knocking in Baltimore can be a little sketchy. Not that we're not friendly here, but I'm just saying.
Uh-huh.
But no, It depends, and it's also that's opportunity cost as well. Like, do I have the time to drive here or door knock, whatever? I can be much more efficient on the phone.
So hold on, we have to back something up. You've said it twice now, almost three times on the show, and you passed over so easily that it's just part of how you breathe. But you said you're aggressively trying to, or actively trying. Let me rephrase that: actively trying to get in front and have a conversation, not just count it as a call. So you
Right.
take a unique approach, and I'd highly anticipate that other folks will do this now after watching this. You do a video text. You and I have done this we watch each other do this on our private calling room. The response rate on a video text, so let's say you call them, no pickup, great. You know it's a cell phone. You don't know if it's a cell phone, great. Take your phone out, do a video text. Hey, my name's Wayne, I'm with ABC Realty, just ready to call you about your property, 123 Main Street, anywhere USA. Just want to see if you want to sell, give me a call. I'm the handsome guy on the other side of the phone. Talk to you soon.
Like me.
Meow. Yeah, this dude, right? But it's 100% free, and all you're doing is doubling down on the same opportunity, but through different verticals.
Mm-hmm.
And that is something a lot of folks don't do. And I don't do it all the time either, and I forget about it. I'm so thankful for this conversation because it's making me think about how I prospect now. So if I missed a call, but then I got a video text going, "Hey man, I give you a call. Give me a holler back. I'm calling about such and such." It's like 100% open rate on text. I mean,
I'm gonna implement it tomorrow. I mean, honestly, I think about how many times, Greg, have you given me somebody who's like, call this person. They're ready to get pre-approved, right?
Mhm.
And then we
Like
call them, and then they're gone. They're just gone. It's not just me as a lender. It's it's a common problem. You have to really be on them. But I can imagine calling them and immediately doing a video just quickly. Hey, I just left you a voicemail. Greg said that you're interested in talking to me. Face with a name. Here you go. Looking forward to talking to you. Now you got this whole cohesive team moving. Yeah, I like that. If it was me, I would be a lot more comfortable with somebody if I got to see their little face.
Yeah,
Well,
I had a lady who said the reason why she hired me is because she saw that I lived in a row home, and she lives in a row home, and who else to sell her row home than a guy who lives in one? And I'm like, there you go.
You have to explain what a row home is real quick.
A townhome. Sorry,
Oh,
in Charm
townhome.
City, they're row homes. It's just
Learn something new.
But that's the same thing. Like I just picked up 2 listings because I lived in the same community for 10 years, and they're like, "Dude, I see you and your dog all the time." I picked up another buyer from the same thing. He's like, quote, "Motherfucker, I remember you kicking in the spa with me. When we're drinking beers." I'm like, "Oh my god, that was you. Holy crap." But that comes back to relationships. This is a relationship business. The calls, the doors, the networking, everything, the videos, social media, those are funnels to the actual conversation, the lunch, the dinner, the drinks, the breakfast, the snacks, the dog walk, whatever it's going to be. Getting into relationship. I just changed areas where I walk my dog, right? And there's these hardcore groups of dog walkers that are kind of doing their thing in their own little cliques.
Yeah.
I've worked my way into every single one of them just by showing up every single day. And today was the first morning I actually walked with 2 of the ladies, and we actually had a really good conversation because we're building a relationship basis.
Mm-hmm.
Alyssa, what's another question you have for Wayne? I know we have a little bit of time left. We have about 20 minutes left. I know we have so many questions for him.
Well, I'm really
I
curious
give
with Wayne.
2 other quick tips when getting in contact with people.
Yeah.
When you have your list in front of you, don't just call the list randomly. Pick out certain ones that you want to call first. Call them first.
That's good.
If they don't answer, do a quick redial because people see that number come up twice. They're going to answer it.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
That's a good one right there, because I know I let everything go to voicemail expecting it to be a robocall or something, but 2 times.
Once you see it back to back,
yes,
you'll pick it up. Yeah.
But that's being persistent and consistent in your business building, right? So if you take rejection, no, if you're a single boy or girl, man or woman, whatever it is, if you ask a beautiful lady out and she says no once, okay, you just give up. Alyssa, how many times has a guy asked you out more than once and then you said, okay, I'll go on a date with you?
I have somebody I know that we're going on 4 years of him asking me out pretty much daily, if not a few times a week. He's never gonna. He's the most dedicated. He gets an award.
But here's the thing.
Yeah.
You remember him. You
Yes.
remember that
He's become one of my
exertion
best friends.
of
Yes.
energy and intent, right?
Yes.
Now, do you remember the guy in your 20s who hit on you at the bar?
Which one? I'm just kidding.
Exactly my point.
There were so many.
You've got to
There's
be
so
memorable,
many.
right? You've got to have something that's really going to make you stand out, right? Not me, but you.
But in business, like Wayne, what he's doing is he's standing out because he's making the calls, he's doing the networking, he's doing the videos. And by the way, his marketing plan, guys, bar none, is one of the best I've seen in a long time. Honestly, that's not a joke. But then he does a text message, so now he's relevant. Imagine if you were to take your business right now from doing door knocks, calls, whatever else, and you go, okay, one call, oh shit, everybody told me no today. Okay, did you send him a text? Did you do a pop by with a $1 scratcher with a penny taped to the back with your business card going, hey, I missed you on the call. Hope you make some cash today. Let's see if we can do some business. Have you done anything to stand out? There's an Asian gal in my community. When I trained her to do real estate about 10 years ago, she on Christmas morning was calling and texting and communicating with a $5 million listing. She showed up on Christmas morning to his front door, knocked on his front door, and handed his card and said, you've been missing my calls. Here's my card. We should talk. Oh. And he goes, if you're that persistent, you're my agent.
Yep.
And that's what I get with Wayne all the time, just consistently doing it. So Wayne, weigh in on that a little bit. How would you double down on something like that?
Double down on the consistency?
Yeah, because a lot of folks, we get afraid of the no, right? We get afraid of being told that we're not worthy of the other person's time. So how would you double down? How did you double down? Break this down for us.
So like I said, I mean, I don't take no, I don't take it to heart. It's just no. If everyone that I spoke to said yes, I'm still only going to be a fit for 10% of them. It's not, I'm not for everyone, and everyone's not for me. I know my numbers and I track my numbers on a daily basis. And what I'm always picked on with my colleagues is, my appointment to listing percentage is very low because I go on a lot of appointments that I walk away from. Because I'm like,
smart man.
I don't want this. Time is the only thing that we can't make more of, and I got to be very, very sensitive to that. So yeah, I don't see if it's no, it's no. I'm not.
It's so unemotional. That's what I notice sometimes with male and female a little bit, but with Wayne, like it seems very unemotional that you and your mentality, you're like, look, it's a numbers game. There's going to be people that like me and people that don't like me. I don't take it personal. Can you imagine if we could be that way in relationships too? But anyway, but that is the truth. Like, and if the way that you go at it, people, just when you're less emotional about it, you can move on and move to the next quickly,
Yeah.
So, sorry, Wayne, I apologize. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
So, Alyssa, let's go to question 5. Okay. Because I think this is a really good transition period for this question.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of folks are going like, wow, man, I don't want to freaking do cold calls, yo. Like, I can't do it. Because I have a lot of friends that they physically won't do it.
They've talked themselves out of it. It's already
100%. So what's question number 5?
Number 5 is with the rise of digital tools, digital communication. How is it helping you to making it easier? How has the art of cold calling evolved with some of the newer tools? Do you use many tools?
So I think the one that I use the most that I bring in is what we were speaking about in regards to the video texting. And sometimes I'll get fancy and I do use BombBomb. And sometimes I don't get fancy. I know I'm talking to an iPhone. I'll just bring out my iPhone and boom, it's literally just a video text message.
You just don't even mess with another app. You just turn on your phone, make the video, send it.
No, because it's got to be real. And I'm normally like, sometimes I'm in a skull cap because I just got back from the gym. Sometimes I'm in a t-shirt. Sometimes I'm in a suit. Sometimes I'm in my car. I haven't shaved. It is what it is. And I'll say in the video, hey, sorry, I haven't shaved. Anyway, I'm just calling about blah, blah, blah. It's just about being myself. I'm here to help you. You want help? Yes or no? Cool.
Yeah.
So I actually joke about that when I do my video texts. I'll say, hey, this is the ugly mug you just spoke to a couple of seconds ago. I look like crap right now. My apologies for my language, but I just want to let you know I'm a hard worker. I'm hustling and grinding, just doing some calls today. Thank you for your time. Love to get together with you and buy you a cup of coffee. Let me know what would work, right? And so you change the technique and the tactic in regards to your communication style so that the individual feels heard, felt, and appreciated because you took the time to, one, make a phone call to them, have a conversation with them, and then you followed up with them. Now, how do you not feel special when someone takes that amount of time to say, hi, there's 7 trillion, billion, quadrillion of us out here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to say, I think you're awesome. And hello, this is my face. And hopefully we can have another conversation. Imagine if your mindset went from, oh, fuck, they told me no, to, ah, shit,
Mhm.
we're going to have some fun. Dumb and Dumber, the movie Dumb and Dumber, right? With Jim Carrey,
Mhm.
when
We've heard of
he's
it.
in Colorado and he asked the chick he's been chasing through all the different states. He's like, is there any opportunity for us to date? She's like, 1 in a million. His response was, so you're telling me there's a chance?
It's the truth,
Yep.
though.
Why don't we think like that in real estate and prospecting? Why are we not telling ourselves, not your clients, yourself, going like, so you're telling me there's a chance? All
We're in our
right,
head
all right,
stage.
all right.
Yeah.
Stay unemotional. You got to move
Yeah.
through it quickly. And it sounds to me like at the same time, the video thing, I see a lot of people, a lot of women I know especially, but a lot of people that go, I want to do video like that. I want to be able to just flip the camera on, say what I want, but then I watch it back and then I overthink it. And you can literally every day train yourself not to do videos. Like you can train yourself to get into the mindset to end up procrastinating on it.
And
I've
this is
watched
a perfect
myself.
example. Look,
Right.
like I got some really crappy lighting going on here, but we're
Right.
doing this, right?
Yeah, you're doing it anyway. Like
I can't tell
sorry.
if this is my best side or if this is my best side, but you're
Oh,
getting both
they're-
sides.
They're
That's all
both your best sides, buddy. Okay. You're a damn good looking man. Okay. But that's an honest conversation. When I first started doing video myself, when I did the rewatch, Alyssa, like you alluded to, I looked at myself and I heard myself and I almost went in the bathroom and threw up. And I'm like, that's what I look like.
Yes.
That's what I sound like. That's literally what I sound like. And I thought, I'm like, how do people not run away with their ears bleeding and their eyes, popping out of their skulls? This is insulting. How could I continue this? And then I realized one simple fact. I have friends, I have family, I have clients, I have people I live and work around. None of them are harmed by what I say. None of them are harmed by how I sound.
That's the truth.
Or what I look like. People know you, trust you, like you, and they're enthralled with you because you bring value to their lives. Wayne is bringing value. Alyssa's bringing value. We bring value on the show. And yeah, I'm not the best looking dude on earth. I'm not horrible, but I ain't Brad Pitt. But I'm okay with that because people already understand me and know me. Alyssa's drop dead gorgeous with an incredible voice and a personality that makes
you're funny.
Celebrities stand
It's a
on
lot
their
of work,
chairs.
though. A lot of work to get this cute. No, but I'm serious. The expert in anything was once a beginner. And as soon as you embrace that and we just go, you know what? Who cares? Everybody had the best violinist or whatever his name is, violinist or whatever in the world, had a first moment when he picked up the violin for the first time, And so if you can just get used to getting over being a beginner, and try it, you're going to be better no matter what it is you're going to be doing on a daily basis for the next year. You're going to be better.
You
And just a
underestimate.
quick mindset. Okay, sorry.
No. After you, my friend. I apologize.
A quick mindset shift for that is if you're doing video and all you're worried about is how you look and how you sound and what you do, then you're doing it for the wrong reason. You're not doing it for you. Know your audience. So you spoke to this person over the phone. You're going to send them a quick video to introduce yourself. Just kind of know them. And if they're kind of, ho hum. You don't want to be like, hey, it's me, and thanks for taking my call. You're just kind of like, hey, thanks for taking the
Match
call.
the energy,
Blah
right?
blah blah. Exactly.
Yeah.
You got to match the energy. You got to know your audience, and you're doing it for them. So if you're all wrapped up in, I didn't shave, I don't look like Brad Pitt, I'm this, I'm that. Well, then you're doing it for the wrong reasons. Why even do it?
Yeah.
I think that's one of the most important things. We get so energized and so caught up in what we see other people do. They're like, oh my God, I have to emulate that individual. I have to look like
No.
Brad Pitt, or whoever else, right? No, bro. No.
On your
Young
path.
ladies, gentlemen, young gentlemen, I want you to hear my voice right now. I need you to be you because the universe needs you, because people are going to resonate with you. Stop being me. Stop being Wayne. Stop being Alyssa. I want you to speak your voice, and I want you to be authentic. Your tribe, I guarantee, I will put my life on the line saying that your tribe will find you.
Mm-hmm.
Go be you and lead gen the way you want to do. And so I know we're coming up on a time crunch. I know you got a meeting you got to get to. I want you to give us 3 lead gen tips that someone could put into business right now that you personally have found successful. Not everybody's going to agree with everything that we all say on the show. I
Sure.
totally get it. But give me 3 that have been super successful for you, and give me your thought pattern behind each one. And if you had fear or didn't have fear when you started. That's a lot of fucking questions on a final question. I am so sorry. That's like 9 questions.
I got you. All right. So I think, obviously, like everyone else, when I first started, I was scared to death. I don't like the sound of my voice. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know what to say, whatever. But you get through that. So for me, it was all about creating the environment that I felt most comfortable in. So I stand when I do it. I have something to drink. I've already had something to eat. I've already got my blood pumping.
Well, he's not talking about booze, by the way, guys. He's talking about water or coffee or tea or
booze.
Milk.
That's for the
something.
evening calls.
Like,
Yeah, right.
let's go make some calls. Yeah.
Bloody Marys and phone calls. No, yeah. So I've got some music going on in the background. I'm standing. I'm in an environment that I know that I am most comfortable with. I don't have to think about what I have to get. Everything is here. There are no interruptions. So that was huge for me, because I started thinking, what was keeping me from doing it the best that I could do it? I was always taking a break to get something to drink. I was doing this. I was doing that. Well, now I have all that. I don't have to go anywhere. Everything's here. Yeah. There's no excuse. There's no distraction. So the environment was
your space up the right way.
Yeah. Correct. That was huge. Now I still make calls in the car, on the go, if I got to fill in here. I mean, yeah, but I'm used to doing it because I've been doing it for so long. But to begin, that was huge for me. Knowing that a lot of people will speak or they're asked questions and they're already thinking of what they want to say next. You really have to just kind of listen. Yes. That was big.
That was big. That's how I've heard that.
Yeah. Ask a question and then just shut up. Just listen, and don't think about what you got to say next, or don't think about what they might say and you're ready to say this. And no. Just have a conversation. Yeah. Let's see. That's 2. What was 3 for me? 3 would probably be skills, because it's not just about numbers. It's just a numbers game. It's your skills as well. And you're going to build on those. You're going to learn different skills and different patterns, and we're all learning here on a daily basis. So thinking that it was okay to learn and that I knew I would learn more was a big thing for me too. Those are probably
being
3
open to that, right? Being open to not thinking you're the winner, but always being willing to tweak and learn new things. You guys are so good with sharing your ideas with each other, the assassins. Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was a huge unlock for me too. Okay. Getting around other folks. I think we mentioned that previously. Getting around other people that were doing it. There's some accountability there. You're hearing other conversations, other scripts, other tactics, other objection handlers, things like that. That was a big unlock for me.
I've always been told, and I bring it back to my father all the time because he's been doing it for longer than us combined alive. No joke. He always says, be a student of the industry. Always be curious of your environment. And, one of my favorite books, the gentleman go to blackswangroup.com.
Mhm.
He's the ex-international lead negotiator for hostages, right?
Mm.
I've had him on my show twice. And one of the things he told me, it's stuck with me forever and a day. When you get into negotiations or lead gen, whenever you have a conversation with somebody, repeat the last 1 to 3 words that they said. That makes them feel heard, and that builds a bond. And so when I heard that, I'm like, oh, okay, that's interesting. So I went out and I went through a really rough period of my life, which a lot of you know. If you don't know me yet, you'll go back and listen to my other videos. You'll understand kind of what of a shit show I've been in my, in my past. But I got to a point where I couldn't take it anymore. And so I got up at 3:30 every morning for about 4 years straight, went to the gym, got into the office. I was in office by 6 a.m., dressed, suited, and booted. And then I would listen to videos, watch things. I would take notes, and I became a student.
Mhm.
And I really went to school. I have a high school graduation diploma. That's it. But I got street smarts, motherfuckers. And I know how to handle shit when I get out and about. It's because I went and I learned. So don't be afraid. Go out there. Be the incredible human being that you are. Be the beautiful woman, the incredible handsome man. Be the intelligent individual you are, and learn. Grow the way you want to grow. Wayne did it. Alyssa's done it. I've done it. It's your turn to do this. And we all believe in you. I mean, we all believe in you. But yeah, that's one of my biggest things. So video text messages, being a student of the industry, really staying persistent and consistent, finding a core crew that you can run with, your assassins, like your dogs, like the motherfuckers that got your 6. You get a bad day, you're going through some shit. Wayne called me out on some stuff. We're not going to talk about it exactly. Wayne called me out on some shit the other day. And I'll tell you one thing. The conversation I had with this man changed my perspective on so many things because he was honest, he was genuine, and he was there. He didn't fucking budge. He didn't leave. He didn't do shit except for stand next to me. So find that crew. Find that group.
Yeah.
It will make a difference in your life. So let's do this. We'll take it away from the super serious shit. Alyssa, where can people find you, and how can they get a part of Color My Credit, and what are you going to be doing in about 3 minutes that people can learn from you about legendary credit and mortgage information?
So I have the Color My Credit live that's on TikTok. Monday and Friday I do at 11 and noon Arizona time, and then Wednesdays they come in sometimes after this show. But just go to Color My Credit. A lot of free content. I don't do credit repair. It's credit education completely. It's guiding you down the road, the path that's going to get you to raising your mortgage scores as high as possible in the shortest amount of time. And that's what I like to do. So kind of simplify the credit education. I wanted to throw this one little tip. I want agents, if you're a new agent out there, to use ChatGPT. Very quick, easy hack. You can go right into your newspaper in the morning. I picked one this morning on Arizona's water and how important it is for a buyer buying a home in Arizona to know the water source, to ask the right questions, to understand where you're getting your water from, right? All I did, cut and paste. And I think you could also just cut and paste the link to the article, put it in your Chat GPT, say, Chat, please write me a new script for a TikTok video by using and analyzing this article. Cut and paste the article, bada bing, bada boom. You got a great script that you can then just go right to TikTok, right to whatever, turn your video on. And it for me, it broke down the whole article into about 5 good points.
Seriously?
Boom, 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 boom. Oh, that's why I sent to you this morning. Most
Oh
people
my God,
ignore me.
that's
I
where you got
noticed
that?
this with my friends, my mother. Everybody just goes, wait, that's amazing. Why didn't you tell me? I go, I've sent it to you at 2:00 in the morning with 50 other texts, and I wanted you to know all. I'm a good friend, Greg. Maybe you'll start reading my texts.
I know. I get them all the time. She's not kidding around. I didn't know that's a system you use, but it is incredibly insightful, and that's a powerful takeaway.
Yeah. I'll cut and paste the little script here on the comments. So if you guys want to look at that later, I'll just give you my little method for that.
There it is. Now we have a takeaway. Wayne, give us your takeaways.
So yeah, I'm here in Baltimore. You can find me online, the Hit Home Group. I'm not Unfortunately, I'm not huge on social media. I'm getting there. I've always treated my sphere of influence on my past clients as my social media. They're my Facebook. So I do need to get more into that. But yeah, you can find me online.
And guys,
Google
by that,
machine.
when he says the HIT group, that's HITT
Yep.
home group. There's double T's on that one for all this dyslexic out there. Like, it always helps to understand. Okay, Wayne, are you doing any speaking engagements? Is there anything that people should reach out to you and talk to you about more? Is there any specific buyers or sellers you're looking to work with? How's that look?
I'm always open to help anyone that I can help. I have a very wide array of clients that I help, everywhere from property management to real estate to REO, bank properties, whatever. I've short sales. I've done everything. I've done the $1 million homes. I've done the manufactured housing, which I have one under contract right now. Got it under contract fairly quickly. So yeah, I'm down to help whoever needs help. I'm not doing speaking because I hate the sound of my voice, but maybe I should. I don't know. But
You're
yeah.
in Maryland, right? So if you're buying or
I'm
selling
in Baltimore, Maryland. Yeah. And I cover a very large part of the state because I know a lot of it. So if I don't know it, I'll tell you straight up, that's not my market, but I do know someone. But I do know a lot of it.
See, boys and girls, this is why we listen to this show. When I say we listen, I listen to it as well. Just because I'm in love with my guests and my co-hosts and my own voice. No, I'm kidding about that last part. But here's the thing. I bring people on like this because they're intelligent, they're connected, and they have something insightful to say. Alyssa drops hammer every single week. Wayne and our future guests and our past guests, some of them haven't really. Some of them back in the day. I can't name names, but I'll tell you later. But I'll tell you one thing. If you get value, can you just give us a like and a subscribe? Give us a follow. Let us get this information out more. Tell us a guest that you'd like us to have on or a content part that you'd like us to cover. So we appreciate you. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Wayne, you are a legend amongst men and the assassins. Alyssa, you're just incredible in all ways. Boys and girls, we cannot do this show without you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And we will see you on the next one. But until then, peace out, ninjas. We gone.